Florida has more miles of residential canals than roads in some coastal cities. Thousands of finger-shaped waterways carved into the land, lined with homes, boats, and docks. Today, they're one of Florida's most recognizable features. But they weren't always here, and they weren't always meant to stay. Canals are not a modern invention. The earliest known canal communities date back over 6,000 years to ancient Mesopotamia, present-day Iraq, where cities like Babylon and Eridu built vast irrigation networks along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These systems fed populations, controlled floods, and moved goods across entire civilizations. Maintaining them was so critical that rulers treated it as a matter of national security. Hammurabi's Code, one of the oldest legal texts in history, included laws specifically governing canal maintenance, with severe penalties for negligence. The idea traveled west. Venice, Italy, built on a lagoon starting in the 5th century, turned canals into streets, commerce, and culture. By the medieval period, its waterways were the arteries of one of the most powerful trading cities in the world. Other European cities followed. But all of these systems shared one thing. They were built out of necessity. Canals meant survival. Agriculture, trade, transportation. That would change. Beginning in the early 20th century, developers used a technique called dredge-and-fill, pumping sediment from shallow bays to build dry land, then carving navigable channels through what was left. The result was a new kind of neighborhood, waterfront living built by excavating Florida's natural wetlands. The modern canal boom followed World War II. New dredging technology, rising prosperity, and a national appetite for suburban living sent developers racing to Florida's coasts. From the 1950s through the early 1970s, hundreds of canal communities were carved across the state, each one sold as a dream.
Now, see it as it will be, the Marco of the future.
Few of them planned with the long term in mind.
One of the things that occurs to me through this is this continued pattern of Florida development focusing on short-term profits and this lack of long-term visioning. And again, we get caught without this lack of long-term visioning. Florida seems to be the butt of this joke. People are going to come in and make a lot of money, and then the bill for the long-term effects of these environmental damages falls on people that end up living here.
The canals were privatized at birth. Land was split into parcels and sold. No coordinated stewardship plan came with them. What was left was a legacy, thousands of miles of artificial waterways operating without a shared framework for how to maintain, manage, or restore them.
What we're left with now is this legacy of development now. We have thousands of miles of canals that were built without any foresight of their long-term ecological, social, and economic impacts.
The water quality problems are not subtle. Canal basins accumulate fine-grained, organic-rich sediment, commonly referred to as muck, that stores nitrogen and phosphorus. Limited water exchange means nutrients build up. Oxygen depletes near the bottom, and harmful algal blooms can follow. Those conditions don't stay put. During storms and strong tides, canal water flushes into adjacent bays, carrying those nutrients with it.
We have these plans for resiliency and restoration for systems like coral reefs, seagrasses, and oysters. None of that exists for residential canals. It's this odd, different system. It's artificially made that was created, probably 30 to 50 years ago. And now In large part, the water quality in the system are largely impaired. There's no overall general framework for how we view resiliency or how we view the need for restoration or the success of restoration.
For decades, that gap in the science has left local governments largely on their own. Each municipality tackling its own stretch of canal without a shared framework, without a way to measure whether their investments are working.
So the first step is to understand the science that has been conducted so far so that we know where that edge of the science is. And then the second step will be to conduct novel empirical work within these systems to better understand them.
That's exactly what C-HAWQ is doing, and what brought Drs. Harris and Stallings to this work. The research starts with a systematic review of everything science has learned about canal ecosystems: water quality, ecology, hydrology, and the ecosystem services these waterways could provide if managed well. That review will define the edge of what's known and point directly to what needs to come next.
One of the reasons why so many people love Florida is because of the coastal ecosystems that include these residential canals. These systems contain a diversity of habitats and animals, and we're excited to provide sustainable science-based solutions to help them be as healthy as possible.
The final outcome would be to develop a generalizable framework to evaluate water quality, health, and resiliency, a need for restoration, and then also indicators to show that restoration is actually successful.
The word generalizable matters here. A framework that works in Charlotte Harbor needs to work, or at least inform, decisions in Sarasota, Fort Myers, or Naples. The goal isn't just to fix one canal. It's to build the tools that let any municipality evaluate their canals and plan effectively.
You have this history and legacy. You have a lot of communities there, people involved. So we need social science. We need to consider economics, land values, and how people use these systems and then use nearby systems that are affected by degraded water quality. And then, of course, there's physical environment and the hydrology and the hydrodynamics and then the ecology of the system. All of those things interact with each other. These cross-disciplinary problems like this, these get me really excited.
Canal degradation isn't just an ecological problem. It shows up in property values, in flood risk, in harmful algal blooms that close beaches and cost tourism dollars. Solving it requires science that spans disciplines: ecology, hydrology, economics, social science, that translates directly into management decisions. Canal degradation is not inevitable. It's the consequence of design choices and governance gaps. And that means it's at least partially reversible. Sediment removal, better water circulation, nutrient management, and coordinated stewardship can move these systems in a different direction. The canals were built without a plan for what came next. C-HAWQ is building that plan now, with the science, the frameworks, and the partnerships that communities need to make decisions that hold up.
Improving water quality in these coastal ecosystems can enhance the habitats that we're trying to protect. And in turn, those habitats can also help to improve water quality sustainably into the future. For example, seagrass beds can help to stabilize sediments, and oysters can filter the water.
Thousands of miles of canals, millions of residents, a science gap that's gone unfilled for decades. C-HAWQ is closing it.